Have you ever woken in the middle of the night, heart pounding, mind racing, convinced something dark was after you? What if those bad dreams aren't just random? What if they're pointing to deeper parts of your psyche that need attention? In this video, we're going to dive into the psychology of bad dreams, why darkness visits us at night, from ancient symbolism to the science of sleep, and how our deepest fears awaken when we sleep. Ready to uncover what your nightmares are trying to tell you? Nightmares have haunted humanity since time immemorial. Ancient folklore speaks of night spirits, demons, and goblins visiting in darkness. Across cultures, dreams were seen as prophetic or divine, warnings from gods or ancestors. But in modern psychology, nightmares are often dismissed as random firings of an overactive brain. Jung and Freud said they reveal subconscious conflicts, messages our waking mind is ignoring. Today we'll weave together scientific insights, mythic symbolism, and practical wisdom to help you understand and transform your night fears into clarity and courage. Here's what we'll explore: why nightmares happen, evolutionary survival, stress, and memory processing during REM sleep. What common nightmare themes, falling, being chased, losing someone, really signify psychologically. How childhood trauma, anxiety, and life transitions influence nightmare content. What Jung's concept of the shadow says about dark dream figures. How to work with nightmares. Dream journaling, lucid dreaming, active imagination, and integration practices. Let's begin with the science. What transpires in your brain during a nightmare, and why your mind creates fear in the dark. Let's dive deeper into why nightmares happen. It starts with the science of sleep. During REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, your brain is highly active, almost as active as when you're awake. This is when vivid dreams occur. The amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear and emotions, is especially active during REM. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, which helps with logic and control, is relatively less active. This imbalance explains why nightmares can feel so real and frightening. Your emotional responses are amplified while rational thinking is weakened. Several common triggers can spark nightmares. 1. Stress and anxiety. Stressful events, whether a difficult conversation, work deadline, or health scare, easily seep into dreams. Your mind uses the sleeping hours to process this emotional content. Nightmares reflect unresolved feelings, especially when daytime coping strategies aren't enough. 2. Trauma and PTSD. For individuals who have experienced trauma, accidents, abuse, war, loss, nightmares can become recurring nightmares or sleep disturbances known as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Here, the brain replays aspects of the trauma during sleep, often with intense realism and emotional impact. Jung believed the shadow underlies these nightmares. It's the unprocessed pain of the self demanding recognition. 3. Sleep deprivation and circadian disruption. Lack of sleep or irregular sleep schedules disrupt REM phases and increase the frequency of nightmares. Studies show that when people skip getting deep sleep, subsequent REM cycles are longer and more intense, meaning longer, more vivid, and often disturbing dreams. 4. Medications and substances. Certain antidepressants, beta blockers, and even nicotine or alcohol can disturb REM sleep patterns, leading to more nightmares. The brain chemistry shifts make fear circuits more accessible during sleep. 5. Symbolic processing. Freud and Jung both argued that dreams, including nightmares, use metaphor and visual storytelling to process internal turmoil. Falling, for example, might reflect a fear of failure. Being chased may represent avoidance of something painful in waking life. Jung called these archetypal images, universal symbols emerging from the collective unconscious, warning us of shadow dynamics and urging us to integrate them. Let's explore common nightmare themes and uncover what your psyche might be signaling. Being chased. In one of the most common nightmares, you're fleeing an unseen pursuer. Psychologically, this often represents avoidance, emotional issues, decisions, or relationships you're running from. The pursuer might also symbolize a shadow aspect, a part of yourself that you've disowned. Jung believed the chase motif is an invitation from your unconscious. Face what you fear, integrate it, and stop running. Falling. Falling conveys a sense of loss of control, failure, or insecurity. It often arises when you feel ungrounded, perhaps in a new situation, relationship, or self-expectations. Your unconscious paints the literal drop to dramatize your internal fears. The falling dream calls you to ask, where in my life do I feel unsupported or unstable? It's unrest asking for your attention. Losing teeth. Dream experts often connect tooth loss with insecurity about power or appearance. It may reflect fear of losing your voice or status, especially in social, intimate, or professional environments. Jung might see it as an unconscious signal about losing your creative or communicative agency, a prompt to reclaim your authentic expression. Being naked in public. This terrifyingly exposed scenario often touches on shame, vulnerability, or fear of being judged. Your unconscious says, you're hiding something, perhaps your true self, from others. It's a call to authenticity. Jung would encourage embracing vulnerability, allowing your true self to emerge and discovering power in openness. Natural disasters, volcanoes, tornadoes, floods. These cataclysmic nightmares often mirror overwhelming emotional upheaval in waking life. They can reflect suppressed rage, grief, or anxiety building under the surface. They remind you to release bottled emotions before they erupt. Being trapped or drowning. Trapped spaces reflect feeling stuck, emotionally, financially, or relationally. Drowning signals being overwhelmed or suffocated by feelings. Your dream says you need airspace, time, clarity, support to regain perspective. Death or injury of loved ones. These nightmares often reflect fear of loss or change, not necessarily literal death. They surface when relationships shift, roles change, or loved ones are struggling. Instead of a predictive warning, it's a grief processing symbol, your psyche anticipating loss to prepare emotionally. Understanding these themes is the first step toward empowerment. Instead of waking in fear, you can pause and ask, what is this dream urging me to notice? Are there emotions I'm running from? Where in my life am I unstable or vulnerable? How can I support my deeper needs? Now let's turn nightmares into tools for inner growth, using Jungian techniques and modern practices that transform fear into insight and healing. 1. Dream journaling. The moment you wake, write down everything. Images, emotions, symbols. Don't judge, just record. Over time, patterns may appear, recurring figures or themes like falling, water, or darkness. Reflect. What in my life echoes this symbol? Journaling builds awareness and helps decode what your unconscious is urging you to confront. 2. Active imagination. In a quiet space, read your dream aloud. Visualize the shadow figure or threatening scenario. Then, speak to these dream characters or symbols. What do you want? Why are you here? Allow responses, formless or visceral, to emerge. It's like internal dialogue with your psyche, letting the unconscious communicate directly. This can unlock emotional release and shift perspectives on long-held fears. 3. Confronting the shadow. Carl Jung emphasized the importance of owning your shadow, the hidden, rejected parts of yourself. When a nightmare features a dark figure or murky threat, imagine yourself approaching it calmly. Thank it for showing up. Then ask, what part of me is this? Integrate it through journaling, art, or talking therapy. The impulse that once frightened you can become your ally. 4. lucid dreaming. With practice, you can become aware inside a dream and take action. During nightmares, pause, realize you're dreaming, then ask, why am I here? You might confront the threat, dissolve it, or ask to see its origin. Lucid dreaming empowers you to reshape your dream narrative and reduce fear triggers in waking life too. 5. Body-based integration. Dreams are deeply embodied experiences. After a nightmare, ground yourself. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Breathe slowly. Shake your limbs to release physical tension. Use soothing touch. Hold your heart. Cradle your belly. Use a mantra. I am safe. I am whole. These steps help rebuild safety and anchor your psyche back into your body and present reality. 6. Clinical and community support. Recurring or traumatic nightmares may require professional help. Therapy, EMDR, or trauma-informed approaches. Group settings, dream circles, or supportive workshops can also help normalize experiences and provide shared wisdom. You're not alone, not even at night. Mythic and cultural frameworks for understanding nightmares. Across time and cultures, nightmares have been interpreted as messages from the mystical and the divine. Ancient Greeks believed in the Oniiroi, dream spirits who delivered both terror and prophecy. Sometimes nightmares were warnings, other times lessons to heed from the unconscious realms. Medieval Europe used dream incubations, sleeping in holy sites or near relics to seek divine guidance, believing nightmares could signal spiritual awakening or divine displeasure. Indigenous wisdom, from Native American to Australian Aboriginal traditions, sees dreams as visits from ancestors, guides, or elements of one's spirit path. Fearful dreams often are considered wisdom to interpret, not mere pathology. Eastern philosophies propose that nightmares arise when chi, energy, is blocked. Practices like acupuncture, meditation, or incense rituals are used to restore balance and invite harmonious dreams. Why this cultural resonance? Because nightmares remind us that even in sleeping darkness, we're part of something greater. They push us to perceive deeper truths, to honor hidden parts of self, to listen to wisdom beyond the waking mind. Everyday self-care practices for calmer nights. Here are trustworthy routines to shift your nighttime energy. Ritual wind down. Light a candle or diffuse calming essential oils, lavender, chamomile, sandalwood. Journal briefly. What concerns am I bringing to sleep? Then, blow out the candle mindfully and release them. Mindful breathing. Try box breathing. 4-4-4 for inhale for 4, hold 4, exhale 4, pause 4. Repeat for 3 to 5 minutes. This soothes the nervous system before sleep. Dream incubation. Before bed, set a gentle intention. Show me what I need to see tonight. Keep it neutral, without fear, inviting respectful insight from your unconscious. Tactile comfort. Use a favorite blanket or soft clothes. Ground through a teddy bear, pillow, or weighted blanket. Secure, anchoring comforts the psyche. Grounding morning routine. After restless sleep/nightmare, don't rush. Sit, drink tea, breathe. Write down what you remember. Even fragmented imagery can guide healing. Healthy boundaries with media. Avoid horror/thriller content at night. Instead, choose gentle stories, poetry, calming music to close your mind respectfully before sleep. Turning nightmares into gifts of insight. By blending science, ritual, and reflection, we transform nightmares from fearful intruders into guiding teachers. Regular dream journaling, active imagination, and nurturing bedtime routines allow your psyche to speak in images and reclaim the courage that fear once tried to mask. Nightmares become a canvas. You're the artist, translating their symbols into living wisdom. You're not haunted. You're initiated into deeper self-awareness and resilience. Your invitation. What's the most memorable nightmare you've had? And what might it reveal? Which ritual will you try tonight to invite clarity instead of fear? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story may be the healing spark someone else needs. If this resonates, subscribe for more philosophy, psychology, and spiritually guided self-discovery, and join this growing community of brave night seekers. Until next time, may your shadows be seen, your fear be heard, and your nights bring you deeper insight, not just rest.